Auto Body, DeKalb County Technical School. Seen it on TV.
I was in ninth grade health class, and they put it on all our TVs.
On 9/11, I was in Gadsden, Alabama, at a townhouse, Williamsburg townhouses on the north side of Gadsden. And I was sitting there, I was actually off work, and I was watching Sports Center, and I remember them breaking in Sports Center for what was going on in New York.
What I remember of 9/11, I was working preload UPS. I was loading trucks. Stacy Hood would come in, I was talking about a plane that hit the Twin Towers. At the time, it didn't register. I just thought a plane, just a small plane, hit the tower. Well, when I left, I was listening to Rick and Bubba, and the way they was talking, I was like, it's something just ain't adding up. This is something really big. Get home, turn TV on, it's all over the news. I guess the first feeling I had was shock, and went to being upset seeing these men and women dying.
I was headed to work on Glen Boulevard, and I was actually listening to the Rick and Bubba show. They were joking to begin with, and then their demeanor changed, of course, when they realized it was something serious. And that's when I realized what was going on. And my first thoughts, was to, your family. You think about where your family's at and if your family's okay. And it was it's one of those things you'll never forget, like where I was at and the way it all played out. And I can remember delivering in that day and going in everywhere I went in. You would go in and there would be people huddled around a TV. Like. I went in Thomas and Son Furniture, and they're huddled around the TV watching it. Everywhere you went in, that's where I got my reports from, was just from stop to stop. And it was a sad day, like a day where you wonder what the world's going to be like the next day and the next day. So, yeah, I don't think I'll ever forget that.
Hey, welcome back. This is Mikie, Craig, and Matthew podcasts.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Let's talk, baby.
And as you can see, we all remember 9/11.
Yep.
And it's a place
Yep.
and a time that you'll never forget. And I know we're going to try to start out serious, then halfway through we'll give away the Olaplex, and we'll try to get a little bit more...
Lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah. See, we got... Craig's not even in the picture, I don't think. There we go.
There we go.
It's blocked him out.
Depends on what camera we have.
Yeah, which camera we end up with. Depends. So, I read Flight 93 this week.
Okay.
And just to hear, Flight 93 was the one that they took over the plane and they fought back and it crashed in Pennsylvania. And just to hear the last phone calls with their family, man, I really got choked up. That was something.
That's horrible.
And they all, when they talked to their family, they was kind of like trying to tell them, don't worry, we're okay. And they was trying to give them a peace and make them not worry, even though they knew they was probably going to die.
How were they making phone calls?
There is each airplane has like those airphones.
Okay, so
But
they're making calls from
there was only 4, if I'm not mistaken, and there was 40 passengers.
Wow.
So they just went one after another and just handed the phone. And that's why there's a lot of people that didn't get a hold of nobody, but they got a hold of answer machines.
Gotcha.
And that's how,
Gotcha.
what's the guy's name? Is it Beamer? The Let's Roll guy. He didn't get a hold of any of his family, but he got a hold of a patrol person,
Wow.
and she talked to him the whole time until the crash. She was on the phone the whole time and heard everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and even when it was over and the plane crashed and was silence, she sat there with the phone to her, and
That's probably something she still lives with.
I'm sure.
That's
today,
insane.
thinking about
And
it.
she said she felt like she was
There.
connected. Yeah. And when the plane crashed on that one, they couldn't find anything. It was just so. I believe that they said it was going 565 miles an hour when it crashed,
Wow.
and it went nose
Dang.
down because at the very end they tried to replay all the talking and stuff from the cab because they got the black box. So they could hear the in cab, and they could hear them saying, "Knock it in the cab,
So
or
pretty
in
much trying to get in the cockpit.
the cockpit." So they used a battering ram of a cocktail cart.
Okay, to try to get
Get
into
in.
the cockpit.
Now I've seen it on the movie.
Okay, well
I have watched the movie.
they knocked it in, got in there. Then you could hear them say, "Pull it up, pull it up, pull it up." Then one of the terrorists said, "No, pull it down, pull it down, pull it down, pull it down." And he said, "Give it to me, give it to me." So apparently they got the guy who was the pilot,
Wow.
and the co-pilot took over, and he plunged it down because if your plane got destroyed or whatever, they did away with your plan. It was to crash the plane,
Just go ahead and crash.
Crash it.
Nosedive it.
and that's what they done. And the last thing they were saying, they heard the praise to Allah, praise to Allah, praise to Allah, praise to Allah, and they just nosedived it straight down.
Wow.
And you hear people in the background because you can just imagine the plane was going up and down sideways and stuff, and then it just crashed full speed.
I was going to try to do some research, do some listening this week.
Yeah.
It's just been a week.
It has been a
So we're
week.
just going to have to go from old memories, I guess,
Yeah,
and,
well,
and nothing fresh.
That's
Nothing
what
fresh.
let's talk. I mean, that's what it's about, anyways. Just
Right.
what we.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to, because we know about the ones that went into the
Trade Center.
trade centers,
Mhm.
the Pentagon,
Yeah.
and I'd always wanted to read that, but I didn't want to read it because I didn't really want to know. You know how you get that, like, the less I know, it's
better.
not real.
Right, yeah.
But the whole thing, when I read that, and they took a vote, like, we know that they've already crashed the other three. We know they've got a plan for this one. Let's take a vote. Do y'all want to try to take it over, or you just want to ride it out, hope for the best?
That's a lot of
And-
courage.
and
You're
they
gonna
voted
die
for it.
anyway.
That's
Yes.
right.
You know, you would think so.
And when I read, the people on that plane was beast. One of them was a football player in China or Japan, like a American football. One
I was
of
about
them,
to say, was it soccer?
yeah, it was American football. One guy was a rugby star.
Oh,
One
wow.
guy was a hockey player professionally.
My gosh, so they had the good ones on there.
One guy ran with the Bulls and been doing skydiving stuff. One of the girls was like a pro athlete of some sort. I mean, because one of the guys called and he said, "We're going to try to take the plane over. There's 4 guys as big as I am." So they was going to do that. And what real sad is, like, he called his wife and said, "Listen, don't worry, we got this. I'll be home for dinner, but I'll be late."
Oh, wow.
So
That's
that gave me,
horrible.
even, I got
Wow.
chills just saying
That's
that.
sad.
Of course, he had, I think, 2 kids at home, and just to know. But they probably could have. They had one guy there that didn't. This was one of the big planes, but he'd been a pilot for the single engines, and so he could have maybe landed it if they could have took over and got him in the seat. So they had a plan the whole time. They had an elderly lady on there, and she was kind of
Wow.
calming everybody down. So they had a whole series. If they could have got in there, but how do you defend against people who want to kill themselves?
It's hard. I mean,
Yeah.
when you said their whole plan is if you get in there, we're just going to nosedive this plane.
And kill us all.
Yeah.
I mean, you
That
can't.
was the plan from the get-go,
Yeah.
was we're going to die anyways, so
How do you plan against?
whether it's at our objection or in the field,
Yeah.
we're going to die.
If you're fighting somebody and their whole plan is like, "I'm going to kill you and me,"
That's, that's a
you
losing
hurting
battle.
them. Yeah, you fear is not in their mindset. I mean, they
No.
don't care.
I mean, because once you're in it, you're in it.
Yeah, because they don't care. They're like, "I'm going to die. I'm wanting to die." It
My only
was,
thing is, how many kids do you think were on that plane?
None.
Really?
no, I don't think it was any kids.
There was
well,
no
that's
kids.
good.
No kids.
That's good.
Oh, wow.
From my understanding, there was no kids. The
See, 'cause
youngest
I
one
know,
was
like-
25.
Because I know, like, the ones that hit the Trade Center, there was kids.
Yes.
Because I can remember, like, one of the families
I think
was
we need to
going.
scoot over a little bit for Craig there.
One of the families was going to
He's back.
Disney World,
Ah, so I didn't know that.
and the little girl was super excited about it, and they're like, "We're still gonna go, we're still gonna go," and it just never happened.
So we were about the same age when
Yes.
this happened, but you were
Oh, I was a
a
kid.
lot younger. So what do you remember? Because you probably have a different take on this than we do.
Yeah.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Oh, okay. Well,
You're talking about the kids on the
Ah,
plane. You were
so-
just a kid.
oh yeah. You know, I was just a 4th grader.
Oh, wow.
I was a 4th grader,
Wow.
and here's what's funny is I can tell you exactly what was going on. I can
Yeah.
tell you who my teacher was. What we were learning about. We were doing like division, and my teacher was Miss Manus. Shout out to you, Miss Manus, one of my best teachers I ever had. And all I know is somebody called her out of the room, and she came back in with tears on her face. She was just like tore up. She rolled a TV in there,
Yeah.
and we just watched TV, and we didn't really know what was going on. I mean, I didn't know what the World Trade Center was.
Right.
And then I got home and I was asking my mom and dad about it, and they were like, "Yeah, this is bad. This is bad." And then I can remember that night, all we did was just watch the news.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to see what George W. Bush was going to say. Because we were like, "What does this mean? What does this mean? Like, this is crazy." And then I was scared to death because I was like, "What's happening?
Yeah.
Are we all about to get killed? Like, is this about to happen to everybody?"
Yeah.
And so as a kid, yeah, I was super scared.
So you were scared.
Absolutely. And then whenever they're saying, yeah, there was kids on the plane, it's like, gosh, you imagine if I would have been on the plane?
Yeah. It's. What about you? Where was you at?
I was in TCBY in Huntsville on Airport Road.
Okay.
We were doing a remodel. I was laying underneath the sink. I think we were taking it out. We were ripping stuff out to do the remodel, and got a phone call, and it was like just freaking out. You know, the plane had crashed into one of the towers, and it was just me and another guy, John Fry. May he rest in peace. We were in there together, and so we ran out to the work trucks and turned on Rick and Bubba on the radio.
Right.
Because I remember my first thought was, "There's no way."
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? You think there's no way.
Right.
I mean, how old? 20, 21? 21,
I don't think we was 21. I was still in junior college, so.
I think I was 20s.
I guess 20.
I know
maybe
Olivia
20.
was born. So she was
2001.
around 2001. So, yeah, 20-ish.
Okay.
22, 23. Well, if we keep getting older, the more I keep talking.
Yeah. Keep
but-
it going.
17, 16.
Went out to the service truck, turned on the radio. It was Rick and Bubba show.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, a plane had hit the tower. I mean, everyone's panicked out. It was weird. I mean, that's the first time we've been, attacked.
Since Pearl Harbor.
On American soil, and it was
First time inland
yeah.
ever.
I mean, I was thinking there was a war. You know, when it first happened, they didn't know
Yeah.
Right.
what exactly happened. You know, what was really going on when it first. So we had went to his house and turned on the news in time. We got there in time to see the second airplane hit the next
Yes.
tower, and it was just unreal.
it was live.
I mean, yeah,
Because everybody was
crazy.
watching the news from the first one, and everybody thought the second one was the first one replayed,
yes,
but it was the second one.
yeah. It was unreal, and that was. I mean, it's how many moments in your life are you going to be like, I know exactly where I was.
I know.
I mean,
was
I remember
kinda-
that day. I mean, the
Challenger
Every-
growing up, you remember that?
slightly, but not like this.
No, I was a kindergartner and we was watching the Challenger on TV because it was live, and it blew up. Because I didn't know anything about
It's
stuff when I
different
was a kid.
kindergarten when you're an adult. I
Yes.
mean, and you had your own responsibilities. Like I had my own kid at this point.
But I remember people saying the same thing. Like, I remember
Yeah.
where I was when I blew up, but nobody ever thought that this is, they topped it by far, but kind of the same way. I was, that morning, I'm not sure, I either worked the night before or I went to Steve that morning, but I was going to Aniana with my dad, and it was on the radio on the way, and I said, no, wait. By the time I got there, I ran into the office and we was watching TV, and I was mad at my dad because he was like, we got to go to work. It's like, I can't go to work.
No, this was like the country shut down.
Yeah,
it was
I
like
mean, we
everything
didn't
slowed down.
work anymore.
Yeah.
I sat over there. It's like you just wanted to get with your family.
You did,
You know,
yes.
you wanted to get around your family, and then, like you said, you sit in front of the TV just to
Just
see
watch
what was
it.
going to happen because you didn't know what was going to happen.
Uh-uh.
Are we going to war? Are we at war?
Yeah.
Are we being attacked? Is there more going to happen? What's the president going to say? You know, and I've never been one that cares about the news or what's
Right.
going on, but this was a time,
You
you
did.
you wanted your family around you. You wanted to see what was going on, and
Well, by the time I got to workplace, I was so mad that I was like, I wanted to enroll. Like Jason Bagwell, I talked about it. I was like, okay, I'm in.
Right.
I was in a band at that time. We played little different places and did like 90s rock and stuff like that, and that was the end of the band. The drummer, I mean, right after that happened, he was like, well, sorry y'all, he enrolled,
Yeah,
and I don't really know what happened to
I
him
think
after
that
but
was the biggest enrollment
push into the military.
ever.
Yeah,
And it was, I mean, people was like, this is a, and that was also our country. You talk about uniting.
Oh, everybody came together.
Oh, it did. It was like you did.
Did yes, the country united, but there was such a hate towards anyone that was Middle Eastern at
Yes.
that time too. I mean,
Yes.
you had to feel sorry for anyone that was Middle Eastern
Yes.
because
They were all
They,
deemed
they was
terrorists.
profiled.
you know we weren't alive during the segregation and
No.
all that stuff that happened, but it kind of gives you. It was probably the same vibe back then.
Yeah.
you know
The hatred
that
that-
went against the African Americans is
Yeah.
how the hatred was against the Middle Easterns, and
especially the
during
Muslims.
that time, yeah.
And you know, and now that I know some Muslims, and now that you have studied a little bit of it, the peaceful Muslims are nothing like that.
Right.
They don't.
It's
They
all
don't-
up. It's all groups though. All groups have
It
their
is.
radicals. All
It-
groups
it
have
is.
their peaceful. There's
Uh,
that average. You know, there's the ones that hey, this is what we got, and then you've got your left and your right wingers. I mean, on everything.
Yeah, the jihad. That was, and even when I did the studying on that stuff, and I read that book this week. One of the guys that was over the plane on 93, he was almost, I think, to the point he's going to back out. He was in love with a girl, and he was supposed to go to flight school. All the pilots over here training in Florida, I believe is where it was, and he kept leaving and going cross country to see his wife, and telling her that he was going to have kids with her and stuff, and promising stuff. So he would leave and go over. I guess they gave him a bunch of money because Bin Laden backed it, and he would go over and they would go out to Brazil or somewhere and stay for weeks and weeks while he was supposed to be back here going through all this training. So even when he was flying this thing in the air, they was talking about how rough it was. He wasn't a good pilot because he hadn't finished school. The rest of them had finished their pilot school.
Well, that's something I've always wondered. I mean, after last week, you know, I'm kind of into conspiracies and
Yes.
some other stuff, but I mean, it's tragic what all happened, but how much of it? There's a possibility that some of this was a setup. How much training did these pilots have? I mean,
Yeah.
you don't get to fly these commercial airlines in training, do you? I would just imagine that there's a big difference between an 18-wheeler
Yeah.
and my
Yeah.
Nissan Frontier. You know what I mean? I can have training in driving this go-kart, but when you sit beside the wheel of an 18-wheeler, and I don't know enough about flying to know is there really much of a difference
they
or
was
how
here.
hard it would aim an airplane into a building.
Oh, it was hard, but they
Right.
was here over a year training. They was the two that hit the one hit the Pentagon and two hit the towers. They was official licensed pilots. They had graduated. Now the other one didn't because he didn't finish his schooling. But they had he'd been to simulators the whole week flying these B-jets. So they was in.
So the simulators are pretty
Wow.
close to the real thing, close enough, I guess.
Yes,
the
they know what they're
technology's got it to where
And they was worried about they was wanting to hit the.
you can fly a simulator, you can
yeah.
fly a plane, you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Yeah,
Type
that's
deal.
true.
And they was wanting to hit the White House, but they was afraid the White House wasn't such a wasn't a big target. They was afraid that when he got into space, because they had to turn their I forget what it's called, where they can find out where you are the whole time,
Oh yeah.
your beaker or whatever. He had to turn all that stuff off, and they was afraid that the White House would be kind of blend in with everything else, that he wouldn't be able to hit it, like because you can't just drive by and drive back through.
Right.
Right. You're one and
whoops.
done at that point, aren't
The
you?
Pentagon was pretty big, you know, and it was surrounded so big that even if you they didn't hit the middle of it, they hit the side. Even they could hit something. And the towers is huge. It's up in the it's a skyscraper. They just run right into it. There was no missing it.
There's that big. There was
Yeah.
no missing.
But so even when they was just worried about different stuff.
I mean, when you see it, when you watch it happen, it makes it look like you've really got to be pretty accurate with that airplane.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not. But I guess it may be the difference of okay, if I want to drive into your house, is that
Yeah, I can hit
kind
it.
of what you're saying? I can hit the house.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hit
if
the
I
house.
miss
You know.
it, I'm probably.
I may not
I'm
hit your
pretty
kitchen
bad.
where I want to, but I'll hit
But
the
I'll
house.
I'll hit
Yeah.
the house.
Which makes it even more, I guess, conspiracy theories because it imploded. The towers didn't fall over like you would.
When they show you the explosions on the thing and some of the people talk, but it gets me because
Go ahead, man. I'm interested in this part too. But I will say this before we start: George Bush did give the go-ahead to shoot down the Flight 93 after it crashed because they had to go all this stuff. So they
So
knew
where was this one headed? The White House.
White House.
Okay.
So they think. I mean,
Right. I mean, we really don't know.
he
We're
gave
just
the
guessing.
go ahead to shoot it down after it crashed.
well, they didn't know at the time it crashed.
Okay.
So-
okay.
The conspiracy theorists say that it was shot down. The George Bush and them shot the plane down.
Okay.
Okay.
But they have it on record that he did not give the go ahead till like it was going down.
After it was already down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when the official record came out, because he did give the go ahead to shoot it down, which is to me is
So the conspiracy starts, and I don't know if you, what they've recorded like George Bush's reaction first.
right.
So if I may be wrong, I think I'm right though. He was sitting there reading a book.
He was reading a
book.
to,
book.
to
Yeah.
some kids,
Right.
And it was almost like, okay, I mean, his reaction wasn't nearly where mine was.
Well, I thought his reaction was
Maybe it was very leaderly.
Maybe it was
Well,
Maybe it
hold
was
it together
leaderly.
because I'm with kids.
Yeah.
I thought he looked mad. When I look back at it, he's like he just grits his teeth. He goes and walks out.
When I look back at it, it just really seems like it's oil related.
See, yeah, I mean I understand that, and I asked the Marine this week. I talked to him because he has more knowledge than we do about what's going on. And I won't shout his name out, Anthony Smith, but I asked him, and he's like, "I just be honest with you." He said the military has more technology than you could ever imagine, and that goes back to the UFO conspiracies, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And he says, "I don't know everything, but I'm just telling you right now, they have more technology than you can even imagine." So I'm like trying to make me. I'm like, well, I'm imagining how much stuff that I can imagine. I imagine UFOs, But he said they technology. Like, we had intel that they was going to do this before they done
Right.
it. We already knew. They
But
already
we
knew.
let them.
Yeah, we let them. Which goes Jesse Ventura, the governor of where's he governor of? Minnesota.
Minnesota.
He comes out and he has a big thing.
Is he still the governor?
No, but he had
He was.
at the time he had
Yes.
a tirade saying that. I'm not saying y'all knew what did he say? He said, "I'm not saying that y'all had a part in this, but you knew what was going on and
Could
you
have
let it
stopped
happen,
it.
and you could have stopped it." Yes, and we had information that they was going to do this. They're going to get planes and they're going to use them as
That's crazy.
barricades. I don't know what they was
And
going.
see,
They
that's
know what they're
what's
going to do with the
crazy
planes,
is-
but they're going to do something with them.
Well, I don't know.
So
And that's
come on, Matthew.
Here's my thing. Like, I just hate that. In order to get a plane, you had to have people on it. Why not just get any old plane?
Because it's not realistic.
No, they
You
wanted
can't sell that.
no, and they wanted
can't
fear.
sell that.
Right.
And the
Yeah.
initial plan that the guy came up with, a plan years ago before Bin Laden sponsored it. So he didn't have the money to do this stuff. This guy already had bombs and stuff.
So who's this guy?
I can't remember his name, but he went to Bin Laden to get him to back it because he didn't have the money.
So give him the idea.
And his idea to start with was have, I think it was 12 to 20 planes at one time
My gosh.
going everywhere and blowing them up at one time. And he didn't think that was, Bin Laden didn't, after he bombed like the, I can't remember, somewhere else, he called him back and said, "Your plan is not doable. That's too many planes." So they lowered it down to 4. And that's how they started. And Bin Laden wanted 3, but he got 4.
So you gotta have the people, because if it's legit, it's a terrorist attack.
Yeah.
So you
That's
have
right.
to
No, you're
you
right.
have to have the people in terror.
Yeah.
So you
That's
gotta
true.
sell fear. If it's a conspiracy and it's government,
Yeah.
you still gotta sell it.
Yeah.
You
You
gotta have
gotta sell
people.
it as legit. There's no way. I mean, if you have an empty plane crashing into a building,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, yeah, we don't buy this.
Right.
But so Osama bin Laden attacked us, but then we went and attacked somebody else.
Yeah.
So how does that really make sense? We went to Iraq and attacked them,
Mhm.
got their oil fields.
Yeah.
What's the dude's name that I'm thinking of?
Hussein.
Yeah, Saddam
Yeah.
Hussein. So we attack him. We go to war with him.
Yeah.
Destroy Iraq.
Yeah.
And then Halliburton comes in and makes millions
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
rebuilding as a government contractor. Who owns that company? Dick Cheney,
Wow.
the vice president of our country. So it's almost like, let's do this, and it's a win-win situation. I mean, I get rich, you get rich, we all get rich, we get
Money,
cheap
money,
oil.
money, buddy.
If you want rich, just buy stock in my business because we're all doing it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all. That's you know, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I mean, oil is huge,
Yeah.
huge. I watched that show. I did watch that this week. It's History 101, and it talks about oil, and it talks about since oil and the drive, like what's happened in the Middle East.
Yeah.
I mean, Dubai.
Yeah.
I mean, just sprouting out of nothing, just because of oil and the
Right.
demands and what they did, and how the French and the British were in there. You know, they kind of colonized that, but thanks to the United Iranian something or others, you know, they kind of chased them out, took over the oil themselves. America, to get cheaper oil, gave them a whole
Yeah.
bunch of weapons. They weaponized them so we can get oil. And then Saddam was like, you forget this, you know,
Yeah.
we're going to take care of ourselves. Forget America. They can pay us money for this.
Yeah.
And then
There's a war breaks
there's
out.
a war.
Yeah.
He's gone. I mean, you can't tell me that this stuff is.
Well, I mean, what?
But you still have to sell
Oh yeah.
the masses, just like there's a conspiracy with Pearl Harbor.
What's
You
the,
know, that's how we got the Americans fired up to go into World War II.
Yeah.
You know,
what
because
was
the Americans didn't want to go to war.
But
But once
even-
you attack our
Right.
shores,
Oh yeah,
go to
we're ready
war.
to go.
But even with that, at least we was attacked. What was the last one besides that one that we was in war in that actually had anything to do with us? Vietnam surely didn't.
No.
You know.
No, Vietnam had to do with, we got to get rid of the communists. Let's go over there. Really?
And
No
we.
business.
There's some more going
No
on.
business.
Then after that, there's a cocaine problem over here.
Yeah.
Opiate
I wonder
problems.
what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder what happened.
And some people got money off that too. So you had Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan war. I mean, we've been over there fighting people in the caves, and
Yeah, the
that was
desert
kind of
storm.
like that was kind of like the Vietnam thing. You know, fighting on their land and their territory, and the
And the
Vietnamese
Gulf
had
War.
tunnels everywhere.
It was a mess.
It's a
It
disaster.
was a disaster.
Yeah.
It was a disaster. The whole thing was a disaster. So where were you? 9/11.
That's where I was.
You're at work.
Yeah, I went to work and I just watched it.
Your
and
dad
my,
was big meanie.
and my dad's like, "Let's go to work." I'm like,
Did you go work?
"We had to go work."
So you get to watch the rest
I
of it.
watched part of it. I kept sneaking back. I think I
Did
gotta
you
go
get
back
to?
and-
Did you watch the second one live? The second plane hit.
I was on the way. I heard it on the radio.
Oh, okay.
The first one happened. Everybody was like,
It's
"What?"
an accident or
Then
something.
nobody knew
like-
what happened. Then
Right.
when the second one hit, we said, "Oh no, this
It's
is
like this is
then
crazy.
Pentagon." Then later on, and the book about Flight 93 was good too because even they talk about that it didn't get the coverage as the other one because the other one 3 hit something and those
Theirs just crashed.
yeah.
Right.
And here's a cool thing is that they made the monuments and stuff out there, and they said on there was monuments in the Pennsylvania the field. They kind of memorialized it and stuff. One of the guys that was a funeral director overseeing the whole thing, like 10 years of investigation. He was there the whole time, and he was walking through the fields and stuff at the end of the book, and he found a brick. And on the brick, it had written on there, it's like, "This is the homestead hideout of the guy who planned the whole thing. They had raided it and killed him. And the guy that was a SEAL or Special Forces got that brick and brought it out there and sent it down for the memorial."
Okay.
That's pretty
Okay.
cool.
So it was pretty cool. It was like that, hey, we got him.
Wow.
You know, that was
That's awesome.
A little bit of revenge.
got revenge. And they was like, well, I always remember them. They called them heroes and stuff like that. They did the 9-gun salute for all of them because they was the first ones who kind of went to war against them. They stood up to them.
Yeah.
And so they did all that. It was
You ever been to one of the funerals where they did was it 21 gun salute?
21 gun salute. Yeah.
I've been to one.
They did that for my grandpa. It's something else.
It
They did
is.
it for
It's
Katie's
like-
stepdad.
Yeah,
And it's pretty cool.
it is. It's
It-
it's a
it's-
different vibe.
They also said during that right there's woods back there with it went through the fields, it went into the woods, the plane, and the dude doing the bagpipes.
Oh, the
did
bagpipes
it.
or
Oh,
something.
wow.
And he was
Yeah.
playing it, and he walked through the woods still playing it, so he didn't just quit, it just faded out.
Oh wow,
and-
that's
That give you
great.
chills.
Oh, yeah, I
will
did.
give you
That
chills.
give me chills.
And
That's
that,
good stuff.
that
right
was
there.
what I was like, man, that would be awesome to hear, you know. 'Cause
Man.
every time I hear that, the bagpipes are just,
I love
I
bagpipes.
know it's
I do
crazy.
too.
Amazing Grace on bagpipes, anything on bagpipes is
Oh, you must go to McGuire's. You've been down there with the bagpiper?
uh-uh.
Really? Have you?
Nuh-uh.
I love McGuire's. They got one in Pensacola and they got one in Destin, I think.
I don't
Okay.
Oh, it's so good.
So they
It's
got
so
a
good.
bagpipe
They
guy?
got the bagpiper going down through there. Me and
that's
Kelly went
awesome.
there on St. Patrick's Day. They had the
Oh,
bagpiper
really?
and the drummer and
Oh,
everything else. It was
yeah.
so good. Yeah. It was so
I
good.
have been to one with
Love
the bagpipes,
bagpipes.
just the one with the girls wear the plaid skirts. I've been there once before. Is that it?
Yeah. Well, there's one. Yeah, I think they do. They did on St. Patrick's Day.
It's somewhere down in Birmingham. I've been there with some people.
That's not the one I'm talking about.
Okay.
I think that's like a adult restaurant. Like
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know.
This McGuire's is more family oriented. You can take your kids.
I was there with.
You went to the Irish Hooters.
I think I did.
Yeah.
Kevin
Yeah.
hosted back, Kenny Bowman.
Yeah, they'll be able to tell you.
Yeah, that was who I was with. I can't remember. David
I don't
Bowman.
think you can go there anymore. That's
out of the
I think
picture.
you've retired from that. Matthew. So, Amy, like, comment, subscribe,
Yes.
and then fire Mikey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, wrong place.
We're midway, so we're not gonna be so serious. The 9/11 is a serious. I mean, it's just a sad.
It is real
No,
sad.
it is.
And it kind of gets everybody just that feely thing.
We're doing it. There's a hero workout for that.
Yeah, there
The
is.
gym on
That's
Sunday.
cool.
I don't think I'll make it. Anyhow,
What time's the workout?
I don't know. We got chicken at 2.
I'll talk to you guys. We have a new sponsor this week, Country Financial. Chris
Thank you.
Thompson. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris.
We have 2 of these to give away. If you like,
You'll
comment,
lose in fantasy
subscribe.
football.
You got to comment. And speaking of comment, we have the Olaplex. We'll go ahead and give them away. The lucky winner, we'll do a drawing out.
We had a lot of comments on this.
We did
So
have
how
a lot
much
of-
is this? Both of
Uh,
these together.
$50 to $60 to $70. I don't know.
That's crazy.
It's special stuff. I don't
Okay,
know.
would you spend that much money on shampoo?
I do apparently because Amy's got a big thing of this. I don't know.
Number 4 and number 5.
But we'll do the drawing now. See who the lucky winner is.
So we've got this hat from Brits Leather.
Rich Leather.
Scott, sorry, this is your hat.
We're going to use it
I'm-
one more
I'm
time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mail this to you, but we needed something to put the names in, so I borrowed your hat. Took the cardboard piece out. I'm gonna shake it.
Oh.
Get back in there.
Is that the winner? Oh,
No, that's not the winner.
No.
Mikey's gonna draw the winner. You can draw the winner,
is it,
and Mikey can read it.
I have to
Yeah.
read it. It's
Ladies,
it's
if
my-
your name doesn't get
All
drawn,
right, just so this is.
it's Matthew's fault.
Look, I'm not even looking.
We already know he sucks.
I have to do it because it's my handwriting, and apparently I can't. I bet you just give me one.
Just one.
There we go.
Who we got? Drum roll, please.
Amy Wade.
Hey. Really?
No way.
Really? That'll save you some money.
Chrissy Andrews.
Chrissy Andrews.
Good job,
Congratulations.
Oh, Chris is
Good
going to be real
job.
happy with this. Make
Out
sure
there.
Right there.
she has a couple kids that can use it, a couple girls, and I don't know if Chris will use it or not.
There's a lot of ladies that are gonna be sad.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry about that. Hey,
Real sad.
this week is Chris Thompson and Country Finance, but
It's a nice cup.
So
It's-
now is this a place to go get loans, or do they help you with your retirement?
Chris
What
doesn't-
do you know
they-
about Country Financial?
I know a lot about them.
Okay, because Matthew,
you know
go
a lot
ahead.
of- you
Go
know
ahead,
money?
Matthew.
I do. This is who I use. I don't use Chris, but I do use Country Financial. I've got my car insurance, and my house insurance, and my life insurance.
Okay, so there's an
Through
insurance
Country.
company.
Yes.
Yeah, they do financials too, because Chris has a guy that does his finances there. So whatever you need, call these people. I got the number. I'll have the number up here that Chris gave me, and get a hold of Chris Thompson. He can get you hooked up with anything.
I'm pretty sure
Good
they do
deal.
insurance.
And,
Unless I'm thinking of something else.
Next week we're gonna have Savannah Seibert on here. We're gonna have a book giveaway.
Looking forward to that.
Then the
That'll
next
be fun.
week, ladies, we will have Posh will be sponsors again. We have another thing to give away from Posh Hair Salon. So if you didn't win, maybe you'll win next time. And I
Oh
think,
yeah, there's
yeah.
always plenty of chances.
But
to
we
win.
have 2 tumblers to give away this week, and I think I want one of those.
2
It's
tumblers?
nice.
Yeah, I got 2
It's
of
a
them.
good size.
Yeah,
I
that's
could,
perfect.
I
That's
could bring
perfect for me.
coffee in it every day.
Yes.
I like it.
So,
And the next episode we're gonna have one out Wednesday.
okay.
It's gonna be the Bean Boozled,
that's neat.
and it's gonna be the one where Matthew has to drink his
That's right.
100 subscribers.
That's right.
And his
Ooh.
wife Katie wouldn't let me put salt in this one.
It's
So-
worse.
So we have him a little concoction
It's
filled up
worse.
here.
It's chunky.
I would rather just have the song.
It looks like it's got some kind of Italian seasoning floating around in it or something. I don't know what
I
you
would
put
rather
in
just
it.
have the salt and Gatorade. Like,
Yeah, but
who
she's,
cares
she's
what
not
Katie
worried about
thinks?
your heart.
I mean, I could care less.
Heart
I'm
health.
31. Let's
Like,
just go for it.
You wait till you get me and Craig's age, then you start worrying about. But like,
But all of a sudden, like when you hit 39, 40, something happens and you're like, crap, I'm going to die. I'm going to die.
me and Craig come up all the time. Like, man, my back's hurting, my side hurts. I think what is it, pancreatitis? What is?
I'm
What
going to die.
we Google everything up and try to figure out what.
So,
how we're
is
gonna
there
die.
like a certain age that you just wake up and you're just like, holy crap?
It's not a certain age, but it's right there
No.
around 40-ish.
Like, is it
It's-
depressing?
No.
No, it's like all of a sudden you'll it didn't happen. It happened to both of us right around the same age. It was
Yeah.
like,
42 was mine.
and don't go to the doctor.
No.
If you go to the doctor, they kill you. I mean, that's
Gosh,
just
I
all there
could
is to it.
remember
You're-
whenever
you're
you had
perfect-
something going
Yes,
on.
you're perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden it's like, crap.
Like you thought you was
No,
about to die.
No, I'm dying. I'm gonna die.
Like you was like, I'm
Yeah.
dying. I was like, what
Yeah,
the crap
people
just
are-
happened?
You got kidney failure, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
dying.
dying. I'm dead. I'm gonna be on a dialysis machine. You know, I'm mad, bitter at the world, and that's what happens. and then you got a
man.
pain
I got paid.
after that.
So I thought it
I
was
think
good.
I told you I was dying on the treadmill, and 2 weeks later he had a pain and he was dying. I
Gosh.
mean, we were both just planning our funerals.
Dying.
I was like, man, is it, he
Hey,
said,
there
I
is
did
one
that-
good thing about it.
What's that?
I know somebody can preach a funeral.
Oh.
This guy.
I think I'm gonna be cremated. Just
And
like
I
you-
will drink out of this cup while I'm doing it. Country Financial, thank
You're
you.
not gonna win. You're not eligible.
Yeah.
No, I'm not, but give me
So-
one, Chris.
You better get KK to comment.
Yeah, I better. Better do it, KK.
I can't believe Kelly didn't win.
That's what she gets for not sharing.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's your shout out.
Kelly said she wasn't going to share the video last week because she
Yeah.
didn't want nobody to be in the drawing with her because she wanted to win the Olaplex.
Does it smell good?
I don't know. I think it's kind of. Chrissy, they're, wor-
It's got a paper thing you can't smell.
Chrissy, they're
Oh,
messing with your stuff.
Yeah, will you comment and let me know how it smells because
Yeah.
I'm interested. I
You
like good
guys
smelling
can
shampoo.
continue to comment, like, subscribe, share,
All right.
because I think a lot of people like it. I do. Like I said, I've had a few shout outs this week.
Still the number
I
one
have.
growing podcast in DeKalb County.
We
And
are.
pretty sure.
Absolutely.
And again, this is 9/11 week. We did UFOs. We're going to continue to have a topic. And
Yeah.
tune in Tuesday because we got some. It's going to be stupid stuff. Bean boozled. And he's going to drink the crap.
Wednesday.
Wednesday morning, Tuesday
or
night.
Tuesday, whatever you say, boss.
Yeah,
Whichever one I'm going to throw up on, it don't matter.
Get the
All right.
bucket.
Thanks for tuning in.
See y'all next time.
Love you guys.